Prey is a game that's going to be consuming my life for the next month, bringing back memories from some of my favorite first-person shooters. I'm really happy to say, guys, that this game is going to be revolutionary in the first-person shooter genre. Guys, I gotta tell you, you need to buy this game. If you like Dishonored, if you like BioShock, you're gonna want to pick this shit up because it is a goddamn inspiration of the two. Like, if Dishonored and BioShock had a baby, this would be what it is, as well as a little Halo mixed in. So, let's get into the video. What's up, guys? It's Mike, and I'm doing a Prey impressions video for you. I managed to play the first hour of the game because they came out with a demo. You can actually go download it right now. I got it on PlayStation. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox or PC. Probably is. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Anyways, I'm going to give you my brief impressions of what I've seen so far and what I think about it, and hopefully you guys can agree or disagree and tell me what you think in the comments below. So let's get going. So I guess I'll organize this up into like 5 sections. We got the setting, the plot, the gameplay, abilities, and exploration. That's kind of what I'll talk about. So first thing going into it, we got the story, right? I'm gonna be pretty vague about this so I don't spoil any of you guys because I don't really want to do that. So pretty much you start off with the character selection. You can choose a female Morgan Yu or a male Morgan Yu, which I think is pretty cool how they do that with the choice between a male or female, whoever you want to play. I like how games are moving closer to that nowadays and giving the women characters more of a stance in the gaming community. So that's pretty cool. I'm probably going to play as the woman in the actual series I do because I did do the male, and I want to see if there's anything different. Probably the same as like deal with Dishonored 2 when if you play as Emily or Corvo, they pretty much have the same lines, but a different voice. So we'll see how that goes. So once you choose your character, you wake up in your apartment. It's kind of like an ongoing thing where you wake up every day and not really remembering anything. I guess I'll explain more of that in the future. But you wake up, you look inside your apartment, it's nice and pretty, there's a great view out there, and then you get ready, you check your email or whatever you want to do, and you do some tests for the science organization that you are working for, and blah 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 blah, shit goes down, hell breaks loose, and pretty much you're trying to break out of this Talos I station now that has been invaded by alien forces. And once again, I'm not going to tell you how it happens, but that's just what happens. As you progress through the game, you're playing as Morgan Yu, exploring the moon-orbiting space station, Talos I, where research into hostile alien collective called a Typhon is performed. As Typhon escape confinement, the player uses a variety of weapons and abilities derived from Typhon to avoid being killed by aliens while looking to escape the station. Thanks to Wikipedia for that one. Now, it's a little interesting how this station is set up because it's not exactly open world, but it's kind of the same as regional design as Dishonored is, when you got a big world to explore and loot and look at all the lore and stuff, but it's also kind of a linear experience. So yeah, you can pretty much go around looting stuff, finding a bunch of cool things and such, learning more about what happens in the daily life of Talos I, which is really interesting because I always wanted to find out more about that ship and how it came to be and what goes on there every single day, but really it was pretty short in the beginning. It kind of showed us some experiments that were happening, so it's really kind of mysterious, which really draws me in as a gamer. Once again, this game is running in the CryEngine, so the environment is absolutely beautiful. I think environment in a game is extremely important, sets the mood, sets your memory into remembering what's happening in the game and what awesome events and memories you can trigger into your mind to bring you back to this game later on and replay the shit out of it, because that is what makes a game worth replaying, is how it looks and how it plays and just how everything goes. So yeah, once again, CryEngine is awesome. Art style looks a lot like Dishonored too, which I like. I love the art style in Dishonored. Now, something that really makes me happy is the story. The story is really something special and intriguing with Prey. I played the first Prey, and the second one just never came out. But the first Prey was pretty fun. The story was I mean, it didn't really amaze me, but I still need to beat that game. I didn't play the rest of it. So that's that. But yeah, overall, in the Talos I station, it's looking good for the environment. It's really cool as well to see, learn about a little bit about the background of the world. It's pretty much 2030 in the world of Prey right now, and it's actually with John F. Kennedy, who survived his assassination attempt in 1963, which he put deep funding into the space program, led to the TranStar Corporation. So it's interesting there. They got a little painting of him in the station, so that was cool to see. But it's definitely different and interesting how alternative this world is and what direction they're going with a first-person shooter like this. I haven't really seen a lot of sci-fi shooters as interesting and cool as this. There's a lot of looting. You can pick up pretty much anything and throw it. I didn't really get to see too many of the abilities because it is the first hour and I didn't go through every single room. So some of the abilities I found, which were pretty cool, were actually part of a system called neuromods, which pretty much, if you pick these up around the map, they give you, I guess, skill points to unlock new abilities. There's 3 factions of the abilities as of now: the scientist, engineer, and security, which is pretty much combat and movement. Engineer is more of crafting kind of things and upgrading your weapon kits and weapons and things you could do with repairing and stuff. And scientist is pretty much health and I guess all your basic needs like hacking and such. So those are pretty cool. I like the equalization of all these different types of abilities. And also part of your suit is your health, your suit integrity, and your PSI, which you're gonna have to repair as you go through combat, and you can do that simultaneously with the weapon wheel, which is really nice. Status, I don't really know too much about this. This is all in the menu screen, by the way. No, because I didn't have any active statuses, so that's probably how much radiation you got on you or something. They got a data thing which collects all your lore and notes and emails and audio logs and keys and plans and research stats. And of course the map, which is actually something I didn't view till after I played the demo, which is interesting there. So that's that map, and then they got a station map, which you can go to do the different types of rooms and such. And then of course, obviously the objectives with only got main story, no side quests, at least what I saw in the demo. So yeah, I thought it was really cool to explore all the different rooms of the Talos I station, at least where we were allowed to explore in the first hour, such as TranStar exhibits, staff lounge, trauma centers, executive offices. It's really cool to see what happens in this station and just all the lore inside it. You can unlock different key cards throughout the rooms as you go. You're gonna have to look over all around the place to unlock certain doorways and such for key cards, as well as key codes in things like audio logs and emails and stuff. So you're really gonna have to do some digging, become a goddamn journalist to find that shit. And the gameplay feels really good. It almost feels perfected. I didn't find any situation where it was a bit laggy or there was like some non-responsive actions. I thought it was really good. So pretty much in this demo, you start off with the glue cannon. Actually, no, you start off with the wrench first, which is really cool because it reminds me a lot of the BioShock wrench, which brings the BioShock factor into it. Later on, you get the glue cannon, which actually is pretty early. Saying later on like it's later, but the interesting thing about the glue cannon is you can pretty much do a nice combo with the wrench. You glue a guy down. If you hold it down, you do kind of like a spray move which completely freezes the enemies, and then if you just click it once, it just kind of like does a one burst. I think hopefully that's right. Glue them together and they'll just stand in place for like 10 seconds or whatever, and then you could smash them with the wrench. Takes a few hits, but it really reminds me of the shock and slash combo in BioShock, which I really like. Later on, you get the shotgun, which is probably my favorite weapon in the game. Reminds me actually a lot of the BioShock 1 shotgun. So that's also interesting. You just gotta be wary. Ammo is very scarce in this first hour, so be careful what you wish for. The shotgun's nice. It's really good on dealing damage with the bigger enemies like the phantoms. I'll get to the enemies real soon, but yeah, the shotgun is pretty cool. Then, of course, you get the silenced pistol. One of the staples of the game, I guess, is the silenced pistol, which is actually pretty fun to use. Of course, there's kind of like a aiming in sight for each gun, but it's not exactly using the sight. It's kind of just zooming in, which I don't mind because it's like a lot like BioShock. Really, you only need a hip fire because the sight and the shooting is so good and fluent. Also, I found that there's this one weapon, which is the Huntress Boltcaster, which does absolutely no damage, but it's good for distracting enemies. And here, I'll read you the little description. A toy gun that is harmless, but still useful for distracting enemies and remotely triggering buttons and screens. So that's going to be your number one, I guess, distractor. But I did have, like, there's like there's around like 14, 15 slots in your quick selection weapon wheel, so I'm excited to see what kind of weapons we get in the future in the real game. But as of now, I pretty much just got the Boltcaster, the silence pistol, the shotgun, the glue cannon, the wrench, and also the combat focus, which is a ability actually. And it's pretty much a state of combat focus for 10 seconds, in which time slows around you and actions cost 50% stamina. So that's one of the cool abilities you can upgrade as well. But yeah, like I said, I didn't really get too many abilities as I did play the first hour, and I only got so many neuromods to access them. But I did get some health upgrades, that combat focus, some repair upgrades and suit upgrades and such. But the security, I pretty much got the basics. I increased my mobility to move faster, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it for abilities. This isn't like a super informational video when I know every single ability. This is just my impressions. It's split up into a lot of different factions of the place, and you could also, it's got that play your way factor, so you can get through doorways and such in your own way. You can go find the key card, or you can access a maintenance vault in order to get through. So I thought that was pretty cool how they did the same thing with Dishonored. So whilst we're all praising this amazing, very unorganized Prey Impressions video, I thought I would conclude with just the alien species. So in the first hour, I was able to come across a few different types of the alien species, all very creepy and scary to be around. Now, whenever an alien approaches me, I kind of flip shit because they are really fast and quick. They got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. You don't want to fucking turn your back for 2 seconds. Now, the mimics are what you basically see first. They're these little tiny little spider kind of veiny things that can actually expose themselves into multiple varieties of themselves, so they can pretty much multiply their form. Obviously, they can turn into mugs, they can turn into chairs, and all this kind of shit, which is crazy. So you can actually lure them out if you know exactly where they are or where they're hiding, and they'll ambush you a lot. So what I like to do is I use the glue gun, I spray them down, freeze them, then I finish them either with the wrench, the pistol, or the shotgun. But you know, you want to save the ammo for the shotgun, the pistol for the phantoms, which are these crazy giant creatures, which are really actually a lot more difficult to kill than the mimics. They are these giant things that have certain abilities. There's different kinds of them. I saw one with like a fire ability and another one with like an electroshock ability, which was actually in the trauma station, and I used my combat thingy on it and just fucked them up. It took a few tries, but I did it. Some of the actual workers are transformed in kind of variations of these phantoms. One had like a fire ability, another had electroshock. It was crazy. So I suggest knocking them down with the glue gun. Try to take on one at a time. You can use the little crossbow thingy toy to distract them, and then shoot them out with the shotgun or the pistol. But you're gonna have to act fast because these things deal some damage. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really excited for this game. Arcane Studios and Bethesda are some of my favorite companies, bring out the greatest games, and I think we need to see more games like this with such innovation and just like the wow factor of this game. It's insane. I'm really excited bringing you guys my full series of Prey coming May 5th, and I highly suggest picking this game up. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, and if you enjoyed the impressions, let me know what you guys think of it in the comments. This is my first impressions video. It's a little out of order, a little up and down there, so bear with me, guys. Hopefully it worked out well, and I love you. I will catch you in the next video. I am Mike, and if you need me, guys, I'll be repping Prey in the Talos I.